Hello friends, welcome back to another crypto analysis. We'll be covering my predictions for Bitcoin, Solana, XRP and Ethereum. So today is 19th of January and it's been quite a wild day these last few days for the crypto scene. If you don't know already, the big news is that Donald Trump, the actual official Donald Trump, this was no scam, this was no hacking account. At first I thought that would be the case, but once I realized and researched a little further, I realized that it was actually Donald Trump himself launching a meme coin. So that's, unless you have been living under a rock all of these couple days, that's the big news. That's actually the surprise. I do have a Trump prediction, which I made because my community on Twitter requested that prediction. And I was originally going to publish it yesterday, but I had some personal stuff to do and I really didn't have the time. I completely forgot about that until the very next day, which is today, when my subscribers there reminded me of the prediction that I promised them. So I will be showing that prediction to you as well. But let's cover this prediction first, which is the Bitcoin chart. We see today a massive crash in the last few hours, starting around the 14 hours of the day. Was extremely powerful correction. Look at this. From the highest point to the lowest, we're talking about 5, almost 6%. Yeah, solid 6%, perhaps even a little bit more. Very, very powerful crash. Remember, guys, where did you hear this first? Okay, where did you hear this first? Look at this. Look at this red circle. Look at this. I told you to expect red days from the 19th, possibly to the 20th. Now, I think the 20th of January, which is tomorrow, is going to be a very, very volatile day. Anything can happen right there, guys. Donald Trump is going to get inaugurated. He already nuked the entire crypto scene with his meme coin. We have Melania, his wife, also launching her own meme coin. Who knows, man? At this point, it's just a matter of time before Baron or Junior or Vance or wherever launches their own meme coin. This really surprises me. And while I do support some of that, for example, I am in profit of my Trump stack. At the same time, I have to say that it's not good when politicians and big money, because Donald Trump and his family, and even if Elon Musk or whatever started launching meme coins left and right, those guys are very rich. They don't have the need to suck out the liquidity of the markets, of the crypto markets. There's a lot of good projects out there. And the fact that Trump just randomly launches a meme coin and it sucks like 90% of the liquidity for that day and for the rest of the week, something like that, it's going to impact many of those projects. And it's even going to impact some meme coins. So Bitcoin suffers this massive correction today. Tomorrow, it could be a very volatile day. If we're very in a bad luck, we could see another even more powerful correction tomorrow, which could mean that maybe the price is going to go 4-5% lower regarding the current position. Okay, so we have to keep an eye out for that scenario. But for today, guys, I just told you, be very, very careful about these days. I shorted Bitcoin when I started to see this massive crash. I knew this was coming because I knew today was one of these days to be extremely likely to see these kind of corrections. For the next days, 21, 22, I think those days could be more volatile. There's still a possibility of danger zone in the 21. So if we don't see a correction on the 20, maybe we can see it most definitely on the 21. So we need to be careful about these couple days coming. After that, we can see a recovery on the 23. Now, this range of days right here after the 22, I think, is going to be a range of days where it's going to be very hard to see green days unless something really crazy happens with the Trump administration. Okay, so under normal circumstances, we all know that the last 10 days, something like that, of the month are always the toughest. They are always very hard to manage. is what I really like to do, is short positions. So many of these circles could not play out, or maybe they will play out but in a very weakened state, meaning that we can see maybe no pumps at all, maybe just the entire day is a range. It's like completely avoiding the correction for those days, but not entirely going upwards. Okay, that's the overall outlook for Bitcoin in the next couple days. Now let's take a look at Solana. Solana also massive. Solana just ripped because of Trump. There was nothing else, no explanation for that. For example, we had this danger zone from the 17th to the 18th, and in the 17th of January, that's the day where Trump launched his meme coin on Solana. The 18th, where is, look at this, just completely going upwards. This is completely artificial, guys. You see that Solana was doing very, very poorly in December, in the first days of January. So there was really nothing except this manipulation, obvious market manipulation by Trump and his team and the crypto market behind this massive Solana pump. Regardless, it's still very good because we're talking about a massive what does he say? 32%. This is just incredible. Like I told you, these kind of things where the danger zones are completely avoided, this only happens when you have extreme manipulation in the markets. In this case, Trump, his meme coin was the extreme manipulation. There's no other way that a meme coin can reach $1 billion market cap in a single day. It's not possible unless you have extreme big money behind those projects. And big money, we're talking about Donald Trump. Donald Trump himself is already a multimillionaire. So there was absolutely no, it's completely artificial. That's all I want to say. So after that, we see extreme volatility for the 19th of January today. So this is the extreme volatility that I just talked about. Extreme correction, powerful correction from the highest point to the lowest, 22%. So almost most of these gains completely erased by this massive volatility. Solana, remember, Solana, massive volatility for today. What did we saw for many cryptocurrencies, many meme coins on Solana, including Trump himself? His own meme coin just absolutely crashed like 20 to 30%, if not even more than that. It was extreme, and it was supposed to happen. It had everything to happen because these days, yellow days for Solana, were extremely volatile. Now, for the next days, we can see maybe some kind of recovery, some kind of nice pumps on the following days, which could be maybe tomorrow, starting tomorrow, which I think is going to be the wildest day because it's going to be the wild card. That's the day where the inauguration happens. And after that, there's a possible uptrend range from the 21 to the 24. Obviously, not all of these days are going to be green, but maybe a couple of them will be. If I were to say, I think the 21 is a good candidate, followed by possibly on the 22 if volatility goes higher than that. From the 23 to 24, we can see unexpected corrections, and especially the 24, 25 these days, especially the 24 is going to be extremely volatile day. Very, very volatile. Many factors, many patterns are aligning for this day, and it's going to bring massive volatility for that day alone, I think. After that, we can see that price is going to go slowly and slowly and slowly, and maybe more volatile in some cases, for example, in this red circle 26, 27, and in this danger zone 30 to 31 of January. That's where we could see some extreme corrections. I really don't think we're going to see powerful uptrends in these last 5 days of the month for Solana, unless, like I told you, unless something really happens, because just like we saw for Solana, this extreme, obvious, and absolutely cynical market manipulation for these days because of Trump. If he does something in his first, 10 days of his presidency, maybe that's enough to drive the markets in a completely bizarre, completely wildcard kind of tier levels, and maybe many of these days will not play out. Okay, but that's because we have extreme market manipulation. Other than that, these predictions are extremely accurate and still remain extremely accurate despite this extreme manipulation. In fact, this is the only danger zone that really was completely ignored. Everything else happened exactly like I drew it up. Now let's take a look at Ethereum very quickly. So again, the same pattern, extreme volatility for these days. Now this Ethereum chart has been really suffering in the sense that Ethereum was looking like very solid in the first 10 days of January, only to be extremely disappointing in these last 5 to 7 days. So this extreme volatility for these both days, look at this 18, 19, extreme volatility, just absolutely extreme, very wild. Many powerful corrections because of this danger zone. We can see that the 17 was one of them, the 18 was part of it, and the 19 is just extremely volatile. I mean, it's just completely volatile. In fact, it's very similar to the position where it opens. So whenever we saw these days, I mean, I opened some scalping positions. I just did some scalping in these last couple days because it was guaranteed volatility for these days. But normally, I really don't trade yellow days because they are very wild. And I like to keep things simple, very straightforward. So yeah, for the next days, basically almost that I just told you for the other cryptocurrencies can apply to Ethereum as well. We have the possibility of a green days on the inauguration day, which I think will be very wild. It could play out, maybe it can't, because remember, Trump inauguration, it's going to be the perfect recipe for extreme volatility. After that, we can see corrections 21, 22. The danger zone right here, at least for Ethereum, says 21, 23. Now, you need to pay attention to each danger zone each different cryptocurrency has. For example, we see that some of the danger zones, for example, this is one perfect example. Ethereum had 13 on the red. Okay, this is a 13, I think. So it was a volatile day, but it was very harsh for Ethereum. It was actually a green day for other cryptocurrencies. You need to check my charts very carefully, guys, because even though many days will play out exactly the same for all cryptocurrencies, there will be some key differences. And those key differences can represent the difference between having a good short position or a good long position on any of these given coins. So yeah, pay attention to that. And finally, the XRP chart. It's also very volatile today. It's exactly what was expected for this. There was a possibility of an opportunity zone on the 19. It could close higher than this because there are still a couple hours left for the day. So it could close higher than this, but if it doesn't, maybe tomorrow will be the day, because remember, these are alternative days. Check out the tutorial that I just made so you can watch and see with your own eyes the perfect details, the perfect patterns that I just talk about endlessly on my videos. But yeah, for the 20, also for Ethereum, for XRP, is going to be very volatile. We have the green, we have the yellow, we have the red. So many days are conflicting this date. It's going to be very wild. Anything can happen. After that, we can see exactly the same pattern of the price will be weakening. 21, 22, maybe further for the 24. You already are seeing that many of these days are the same on many of these crypto charts. Okay. And finally, the surprise that I just told you about in the very first minutes, the very first part of this video, this is the Trump chart, the Trump memecoin chart, okay? So you can see it right very instantly. It's the exact same design of my other charts, except with the key difference that we are talking about hours, not days. These are hours of the day. Okay, so I divided this chart in the hours left for this day, which is 19, and the hours left for the tomorrow, I mean the 20th of January. So this is basically the division that we have. Anything right to this line is for tomorrow, and these circles are for today. So this is what I usually do for scalping. This is my method that I use for scalping. It's exactly the same, but instead I just talk about hours. And the thing that I just wanted to say about this, the difference between doing this smaller time frame and larger time frames, is that some of these circles could be extremely decisive. I mean, you could have a very long red circle, and it could be the actual catalyst for the crash. When I was doing this chart, I saw that this hour, the 15, of course, this is UCT6, so you'll need to do your own equivalent according to your time zone, right? But my chart showed that this hour right here was a long red circle on the 15th hour of January. So it was only a long red circle. Nothing else was accompanying that circle in that energy. And we see a massive crash right there. So it's more, how can I say, it's kind of more risky, but at the same time it's more rewarding because I can know the exact hours when things are going to play out. Because we are also on a smaller time frame, some of these circles will not play out at the exact hour. For example, we're not going to see maybe an uptrend on the 20 hour of this day. For example, this is, I think, right around here is the 19 hour, 19 and a half, and basically also covers the other, which is the 50-minute, okay? So you can see that in this range was basically a red candle. This is obviously a 30-minute time frame. Maybe if we see a 1 minute, a 5 minute, smaller intervals of time frames, we can see some of that play out more detail. Okay, so this is okay, something like this. Yeah, basically this small, very small pump corresponds to these hours. But yeah, we're not going to see anything really big. I mean, this is for scalping, guys. Unless the price is going extremely volatile for that day, for that hour alone, maybe we can see some extreme crashes. For example, like the one that I predicted. This chart was supposed to be released yesterday, but like I told you, I had some personal stuff coming up surprisingly. So I really couldn't do that prediction yesterday. But if I had, man, I mean, if I had done the prediction and published it yesterday, it was like what the original plan was. Man, so many people could have saved massive amounts of money just by avoiding this massive crash alone. This is just insane, the amount of extreme opportunities that I bring to the table, okay, that my content, that my accuracy brings to the table. So right now is the 2021 hour. This corresponds to, I think, it's going to be entering this range. There's a potential of seeing some powerful impulses on these next 30 minutes, something like this. Maybe next hour, but after the 23, I think it's going to be solid correction. So if I were to do some small scale trading, I will pay attention to these potential shorts, and whenever the situation is looking like it's going to be the exact prediction, I am going to enter some positions. But yeah, this is basically the hour prediction. It's going to stay up. I'm not going to delete the prediction. It's going to stay up because there's also some circles for tomorrow, which could be kind of decisive. I think that the Trump meme coin can recover nicely. Can recover nicely tomorrow because I'm seeing way more greens, especially uptrend zones, green zones, way less danger zones right here. So I can expect some recovery tomorrow. In this, I'm obviously not covering every single hour, every single minute, because that will be extremely time consuming. That's one of the reasons why I really don't like doing scalping. It just takes a lot amount of my time to make these predictions. So anything, I don't, like I said, I don't cover every single hour. I only cover the most important hours where I think is more likely to see extreme movements. Okay. So having said that, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's a very long video actually. So I hope you enjoyed this. I urge you to subscribe, share, and like. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.